Hello, everybody. I'd like to just spend a little time in a short video giving accolades to a set of video tutorials that I use to learn Umbraco, which is an open source content management system written in ASP.NET in MVC Razor. And I was looking for a set of tutorials that would take somebody from pretty much zero knowledge, which is myself, into writing, setting up Umbraco, creating a website, creating a web application under Umbraco that reads the content. And I found an excellent one. It's created by a gentleman named Paul Seal, and you're looking at his main website, and it's codeshare.co.uk. So he's from Great Britain, and I provide a link to his YouTube video on under this video here. But basically, if you go out on YouTube and you do a search for Umbraco tutorial for beginners, you'll see is how to build a site with Umbraco part 1. And don't let the 2016 December through December 2 defer you. It's still very, very up to date. It's using Bootstrap 3N, and so it's still very, very applicable. I see that he has a newer set of tutorials where he creates a totally different website, and so that one sounds very appealing too. And so I think I'll probably explore that and see what that's about. And but basically on this one, if you take this, which I highly recommend, he walks you through taking a static site, which basically is a thing called Lessor. It's like a template, basically, with Bootstrap and all that. And as you can see, I downloaded it to my local drive. And so this is 100% static. Everything's hard-coded in the HTML. And what you're looking at right here is, the Lessor template, if you will. It's nothing at all to do with Umbraco, and each of the pages, as I mentioned, is hard-coded static HTML. And what he does is systematically through the tutorial, which is in 12 parts, he starts pulling in each one of these pages and things of that nature into Umbraco. So your end result is going to be what you're seeing right here. So it looks pretty much the same, only if you notice this is actually running on my IIS Express web server. You can also run it under IIS. And I kind of modified this a little bit. It's got a few extra features on the top, but this here is fully running within Umbraco. And there's not nearly as much stuff hard-coded anymore because a lot of this content inside of here is within Umbraco now, including images and things of that nature. So not knowing anything about really Umbraco and the dashboard and all that, if you take his tutorial, you'll be able to download and install Umbraco into your own .NET solution right here. And again, Umbraco in this particular case is installed as a NuGet package. And so you have in his tutorial, you create a website with back office access. So what you're looking at right here, for anyone not familiar, this is kind of like the Umbraco dashboard for this given website. So clearly, if this makes a little bit more sense right here, what you can see right now is, if I drag this out, you can see these menu options. You got home, portfolio, services, blog, content, contact, kind of maps to these here. If you look at, for example, if I click on the blog entry, we've got, these particular blog entries right here. If you go here under blog, you can see how each of these map to what you're seeing right here. So the gist of it is, if you're not familiar with Umbraco or the CMS or whatever. All pretty much most of this content in this website exists within Umbraco, and you can dynamically modify it just by going into the back office. So what you can see right here, this kind of stuff, this text right here is basically contained in Umbraco, and then the web app itself, through using access to the Umbraco API, is going to go and reach into Umbraco, and it's going to pull out all of this content for each of the individual pages, and then it's going to render it appropriately. The other thing, like for example, if I go to the content page right here, as you can see, we got this content, which is like the about page, and we've got a history and an image. But lo and behold, as you can see in the back office, you can upload the image, and you can upload the history for it. So you can technically update, type something in, is updated, and then you can save and publish. And the idea behind that is assuming that this works, you should be able to see the text being reflected and things of that nature. Let's see why this didn't work. So if I do a preview, there we go, right there. This is updated. Wonder if I just have to refresh the cache. Yeah, just by refreshing it, as you can see, it showed up right there. So that's a super duper quick overview of what Umbraco does. But if you take his tutorial, and I owe all of that knowledge to him, and in taking the tutorial. But if you take the tutorial, he will walk you through how to go into the settings and to create things like document types, which are very important. And then for your document types, you'll have templates that are associated with each of those. I think it's really cool that he created a base template, shall you say. And if you look here, each of these templates are really, it's just razor code, with partials and things of that nature. So what I found really cool with Umbraco is you can do a lot of the code editing for your pages and stuff like that right in Umbraco itself, or if you choose, and he shows you both options. What you're looking at here is the ASP.NET, shall we say, solution for Umbraco and the site itself, and you've got the same code right inside of here. So what you're looking at here with this portfolio template, for example, that's really what this is right here. So you can edit them in one or the other place, and it's really pointing to the same thing. So when you run the site, like I said, when you run the site, he will show you, how you can create your different document types, your templates, your data types, which are, custom controls. So he shows you how to do that as well. So there's things like a custom rich text editor. He gives you an example of, along with a pretty cool plugin package, archetype, which is kind of like a group box, shows you a whole bunch of editing controls. So this is kind of like in the testimonial section. So for example, that's going to be, if we go to the home page, if you look here, you can see the home page itself has all kinds of content here. So like I said, all the images and things like that, it's no longer hard-coded within these original HTML files that came from the theme that he used for the course. Instead, it's all put dynamically inside of here, so you can go in here and modify your images, all kinds of things. But here was the archetype one, where you can actually, when you click on it, it shows you the different, like, name and the quotes and the titles, and you can dynamically add more or drag and drop things around there for ordering purposes and all that. But I'll stop rambling on there. And as far as the solution goes, when you start the tutorial, this is pretty much an empty solution. And after installing the Umbraco NuGet package, you're going to get a bunch more folders in here. And then as you start continuing on with the tutorial, he's going to introduce to you concepts of specific controllers in Umbraco, like the Surface controller, which are Umbraco-specific classes, that extend from, the regular controller class in ASP.NET MVC. And he's going to also show you another really cool thing I thought was the searching capability. And this is like really cool. But if you go to search right there, you can do basically a search for specific content. So I'm typing an iPhone. I happen to know that the blog page contains stuff on iPhone, so you get like 3 links there, and then you can click on it and go there. It's using an examiner package, which basically contains like the Lucene search engine under there. So he will show you, how you can pull that in. So as you're seeing here, all of these are views that you'll be creating, partial views as well as the controller. And at the end of this tutorial, I think you'll really feel good about what you've learned and all that. And like I said, I can't thank them enough. As far as prerequisites are concerned, again, the site's written in ASP.NET MVC with Razor. It's really good to know that beforehand, but if you don't know MVC Razor or whatever, you could probably still follow along with the tutorial because he'll walk you through, a lot of the back office. I guess they call it the back door to Umbraco. He'll walk you through a lot of these things, which are really good to know too. So, and then publishing your content, things of that nature. So I think it's about, I can go on much longer giving this accolades, but I would highly recommend going through the tutorial. And I would say this is the way he laid it out, the course, and the way he presented the material and all that. Very, very professional, and every bit as good, if not better, than anything you would see on Pluralsight or some of those other, online subscription tutorials and things that you would pay for. So if you need to learn Umbraco, why not, go through these sets of tutorials, and I think you'll be very happy with, going through it and what you learn. So again, it'll take you about 12 hours or so to go through all 12 of the videos, but it's highly worth your time if you have to learn this. So thanks for watching this, and hope this pointed you in the right direction as far as a learning resource. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.